Somebody asked me if you have to rough it in Peru when visiting, and I created this trip to show you all the beautiful luxury that you can experience in Peru between the trains and the beautiful properties and the luxurious experiences. There will be no roughing it on this trip. I'm going to share my screen and we can go through the itinerary together. These are just some ideas. I have personally traveled through Peru for the last 19 years, 7 times and counting, and have experienced everything on this itinerary. So please reach out with any questions or tweaks, or maybe you've heard of something and we can incorporate it to make the trip really yours. But this itinerary is based on our discussion. So I started it in the end of February so that we can catch the first train available, which is on March 5th. And that's that super beautiful sleeper train. And as I go through the itinerary, I'm going to have some suggestions for you. So if you have an extra day here or there, I have some ideas. So February 27th, you're going to arrive in Lima. It's a wonderful metropolitan city on the ocean. We're going to pick you up, big sign with your name on it, whisk you off to your hotel in Miraflores. Miraflores Park Plaza is a luxury hotel on the beautiful coast. It's the best hotel in the city. Great views, great food, great service. So it's a place you're going to stay for 2 nights. The first day is arrival, and the second is the day to explore the best of Lima. So the way we do it is we do a combination of touring the bucket list items throughout the city, like the main square, the cathedral, but also doing a walking foodie tour. So you're having lunch at the ruins and you're tasting things along the way, and you go into the colorful Barranco neighborhood, places that usually tourists don't visit. You're going to feel like a local exploring the city with your private guide who's from Lima, who's going to really elevate the experience for you. So lunch will be along the way. You're going to have beautiful tastings throughout. There are so many fun places in Lima. And to really kick off the experience, Lima is home to the top 3 restaurants in the world. Like out of the 5 top in the world, 3 of them are here. We will make reservations for you so you can enjoy one of them for dinner. And then on day 3, we're off. We're going to take you back to the airport. We're going to fly to Cusco and we're going to go and acclimate in the Sacred Valley. So, Cusco, if you land there, you're at the highest elevation between that Sacred Valley and Machu Picchu. So, we always want to acclimate somewhere lower. So, we're going to take you to the Sacred Valley, which is a wonderful hub of cultural experiences, ruins, nature, and it just feels like a beautiful countryside, perfect place to relax. So when we arrive, we're going to go to your hotel. It's about an hour and a half drive from the airport, but en route, we're going to see some sites such as Chinchero, a very colorful village, Maras and Morai, which is Inca sites for salt cathedrals and some experiments that they used to do because they were a fascinating group. And your guide here will be local from this region. He will be with you throughout Sacred Valley and Cusco, and he will show you the best of the sites. Lunch will be somewhere beautiful, such as a farm to table Iskay Maras restaurant or another one, because there's so many good places to eat in the valley. And then we're going to check into our hotel, Rio Sagrado. Again, best hotel in the Sacred Valley, beautiful service. You really wake up and you feel like, okay, I'm in Peru. You can see the colors, the woodwork, and wonderful local people who live here, who thrive here, who operate this business. And then the following day, we're going to continue with Sacred Valley. We're going to tour some sites such as Ollantaytambo, which is on everyone's bucket list, but also Misminay, which is really off the beaten path. It's an indigenous community that lives high up in the Andes. You're going to get a glimpse of life in the mountains here. Super colorful, super warm and friendly people. It's a great combination of doing those 2 things because you're going to see lots of crowds and lots of people at Ollantaytambo and no one else at Miss Minai. So it makes it very special. We'll have lunch with them there. And then in the evening, we're going to catch a train to Machu Picchu. So the only reason I'm doing it that way is because you had a shorter dates of travel. But if you can allow an extra night, then I suggest sleeping at Rio Sagrado in the Sacred Valley 1 more night here, just so you don't feel like you're checking in and out. So that way you'll have 2 nights in the valley before going to Machu Picchu. That will also help you acclimate better. So if you're a little bit nervous about the altitude, let's add that extra night here before we go to Machu Picchu. If not, then we take that evening train. We arrive, we go up to the mountain at Sanctuary Lodge. This is your property. This is the only hotel at the gate of Machu Picchu. So it has the best location, amazing views, great food, and they'll have dinner for you ready there when you arrive in the evening. And then March 3rd, that morning, early, even probably before breakfast, we'll head into the ruins for sunrise, for a tour of the ruins. We can schedule it however you'd like. We can have breakfast, then the tour, or the tour, then come back for breakfast. There's lots of options here. You'll have plenty of time to enjoy the hotel, maybe go to the spa, maybe have afternoon tea time. Lunch is arranged for you. Before we head off the mountain down the track, there's a shuttle that will bring you back down where the train station is, where the little village is. You can go to the market, you can have some free time there before we get on the famous Hiram Bingham dinner train to Cusco. It's about a 3-hour ride. It's a gorgeous service, white glove dinner and drinks on the train as we arrive to Cusco. So here's your sunrise at Machu Picchu. And then once in Cusco, we check into Palacio Nazarenas, the best property in Cusco by far. It's also a Belmont property, so it's the same company as the train that you're going to be sleeping on later on on the way to Lake Titicaca. But in Cusco, we're going to be there for 2 nights. So the first day is here, arriving after our dinner train, and then we're going to spend a day dedicated to Cusco. So if you see under each day, there's a BL, BLD. That stands for the meals that I've already included. Pretty much all your meals are included. But if you're in a city that offers a lot of opportunities like Cusco, I kept lunch open for you so that you can walk around, you can sit in the main square, you can pick something on your own to eat, or you can chat with your guide, or if you want something arranged, of course, just let me know and we will do that. And dinner, I have arranged after you explore the city with your private guide. Again, all the touring I'm mentioning here are private with your own guide. That night, after the museum shuts down, we're going to take you into the Archaeological Museum of Cusco, and you will have dinner inside. There's a glorious 6-table restaurant in there. It is one of my favorite meals in all of Peru. So I think you're going to have a wonderful time. And then you have access to the museum with no one else there. It's quite an experience. And then March 5th, finally, we get to the highlight of the trip, which is our beautiful sleeper train. So this is the Belmont Andean Explorer train. It goes from Cusco to Lake Titicaca, from Lake Titicaca to Arequipa. And so I have arranged it for you that way. Another option is taking it only to Lake Titicaca, so only 1 night. So let me know what you are wanting to experience, but this one is the full-on experience starting in Cusco, ending all the way in Arequipa, completely opposite sides of the country. So the train includes everything. You have beautiful rooms, you have a butler, you have all your meals and drinks included, and of course, adventures and excursions along the way. But the journey itself is quite beautiful. So the first day, you travel all the way to Lake Titicaca and you overnight on the train by the lake. And then you spend the day exploring Lake Titicaca, visiting the people of Uros, visiting the people of Taquile. These are islands. These are completely different tribes from the Incas. So they speak a different language. It's quite fascinating to see them because they have lived the same way for many, many generations. And then you overnight on the train again before we continue towards the coast, towards the white city of Arequipa. This is home to Colca Canyon. This is home to some beautiful views. So the journey between Lake Titicaca and Arequipa will be completely different than coming from Cusco. And that is what makes it very, very special. And especially at night, stargazing here is some of the best in the world. And then you get to Arequipa, you say goodbye to the train, and we overnight in Circa Hotel. The Circa Hotel opened just a few years ago. It is fabulous. It won Best Hotel in South America almost immediately. It's a great, great property. You definitely feel like you're in Arequipa. It feels so different from Cusco and Lake Titicaca. You spend 1 night there. In the morning, we'll take you on a tour of Arequipa, which is quite a fascinating history here, and a beautiful monastery as well. And then you will fly home. So another option is add another day in Arequipa. Go see the Coca Canyon, have some time to kind of unwind and relax before you fly home. But you can certainly do it this way and be done with Peru within 10 days. But if you have extra days, let me know and I will show you what we can do to make the trip even more spectacular. I'm sending this to you. Let me know your thoughts and happy travels.